Hey guys, Jordan Smith here, Senior Partner with North American Senior Benefits, and I wanted to give a quick little video on a roadmap to RVP. Because for me, I don't know about y'all, but when I got into the business and I started looking at some of the larger levels to hit, sales manager, regional vice president, partner in the company, I didn't feel like that was a level that I could attain when I first got started. I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't being offered these type positions from other companies in corporate America. And so here's what I want to do in this video. I want to make it a little bit simpler and give you a few steps and a clearer path and vision to be able to hit regional vice president or RVP with NASB. So if you look at the path to prosperity, you'll notice that everything's in black and white. Doesn't matter how long you've been with the company, doesn't matter what state you live in, doesn't matter who your manager is, doesn't matter your experience, doesn't matter if we like you or not. If you hit the production number, you earn the promotion with NASB. So that was the first thing that I had to realize, that you need to realize, that it's up to you. You can't blame anybody else with our system. It all falls back on your production. So when you're looking at the RVP level, you should know first off what production level warrants the RVP level. And if you refer to it, it's $150,000 in annualized premium monthly, 2 months in a row. Now, when you're looking at a personal goal, it's pretty easy to say, okay, I need X amount of approaches to get into X amount of presentations, to write this many applications, which should yield this amount of premium. And it's all on you. Your first few promotions, in fact, you should be able to hit on just your own pen. But when you start looking at the larger levels, RVP for instance, chances are you're not going to be able to write $150,000 a month, even if you write the business that Ashley Khalil wrote when she was personal in the field. It takes a team, does it not? So for me, this was always kind of more subjective, a little bit more complicated in my mind on, okay, what do I actually need to be able to do to hit RVP? And here's what started kind of clicking for me, or basically working backwards to give you a simpler path to it. When you look at $150,000 a month in net issue, the first number to realize is you probably need to overshoot that by double in written business. We control written business, we don't necessarily control issued business. Now, why double? So double's a huge number, that's $300,000 a month. Here's why. Because on average, the insurance industry teaches us that 75% of what we write will place in force, and of that places in force, another 75% will actually keep their policy. So if you do 75%, of 75%, it gives you a net effective percentage of 56%. Let's just round down and say 50. So let's say you need to write double what you actually want to net place at the end of the month. So if you're aiming for 150K RVP, that would be $300,000 in written business. Now we work backwards. How many weeks are in a month? Well, in our promotion periods, there's four consecutive weeks. So if you're trying to hit 300K a month, that would then be 75K a week. So now you know weekly basis to hit this number, $75,000 in weekly premiums, what you at least need to write or submit. Now remember, it's your team production here, not necessarily just your own personal production. So what does the average agent write with NASB? I hope you're a lot better than average. If you're on the Dreammaker team, you probably are. But the average agent across NASB writes $2,500 per week in written business. Now that does count part-timers, that counts newbies. So hopefully your average is much higher than that. And if so, more power to you. Keep on doing what you're doing. But let's be conservative for this video and say $2,500 per team member. Well, 75,000 per week divided by 2,500 per person is what? 30 agents. That's 30 agents in the field on the conference call that are active on a weekly basis should yield you the RVP numbers. When I did the math on that and I realized, hey, now it's not so subjective. Now I don't have to walk, talk, act, think, speak like an RVP necessarily. All I need to do is find a team of people that I can help coach and train and support that can produce 30 agents in the field. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you hire all 30 direct. In fact, a good structure might only be 5 to 8 agents direct to you, and through those 5 to 8 managers, they each have helped build a solid team, and over your whole network or hierarchy, you now have 30 agents in the field. So here's the question to ask yourself now anytime you're doing an interview or anytime you potentially pass a prospect is, what is this man or woman potentially worth if I can help train them and coach them and hire them in this business? Because each client we pass up and every lead that we see potentially is a doorway to a $1,000 commission, is it not? And that's extremely attractive. But I want you to think bigger on each new potential prospect. Every prospect that you find and help and coach could be worth $1,000 monthly to you. Not just one time like a client might be, but $1,000 monthly. Why do I say that? Because the average RVP income is around $30,000 a month. We've had many RVPs out earn that. Ashley Khalid made $49,000 last month at the RVP level. She's almost double the average income of an RVP. Again, being conservative, $30,000 in a month is the average income for our RVPs with 30 agents on their team. So hopefully if you look at that, you're helping each one of your agents earn $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in monthly commissions. You're compensated roughly $1,000 per person for being able to support them, coach them, help them with in and ups, train them on all the success that you've been able to have. So I want you to think bigger as you're looking at building your team. Is it a temporary sacrifice? Absolutely. It takes a little bit away from your personal production. It takes a little bit maybe away from your home life in helping get people up to speed. But once you do, and once you can teach them how to fish, and you can teach them how to sell with the NASB system, it's something that's not only going to pay them for the rest of their life, it's going to pay you an override for the rest of your career. A couple other tips as we wrap up here. First thing I'd like for you to do if you're just on your path to building to RVP is number one, start thinking and acting like you've already attained the RVP status. Start making decisions like you already have 30 agents following or duplicating your every move. And when you do, you're going to start finding a path to that level. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen is when somebody says, Jordan, I'll make decisions and I'll make moves like that once I already have 30 people on my team. Well, if you think like that, guys, you'll never have it. You'll never be able to attract those people or be able to help those people find their success. Number two is stop making excuses personally so you don't have to take them from your team. One of the things I was taught at a young level in this business is to remove words like I can't do that or my team won't do this and to replace it with we just haven't done it yet. We just haven't figured out a way to be able to do it yet, but we're about to. We're making moves to the RVP level. One last thing I'll mention to you guys is you need to find the root or the reason that you want to attain this level. Because if you don't know why, chances are you'll never pay the price or make the sacrifice to be able to get there. Is it worth it? Absolutely. There's few things in life that I've been able to do that have been worth and paid the dividends of what this business has been able to do when we've hit the upper levels, RVP and partner and beyond. But here's my point. If you don't know why you want it, and it could be something as simple as you want the title of RVP. Maybe you've never had a title like that in your career. Maybe it's the recognition that you want. Maybe it's the sense of accomplishment or pride. Shoot, maybe it's the income. I'd never even made $10,000 a month before I got in the insurance business. Now we're talking $30,000 plus a month. So it's okay if it's the income. Maybe it's what the income will do, which I think is even more important, or maybe if it's the lifestyle that you create. I can tell you this, for me, I enjoy the free time or the lifestyle that this business has yielded even more so than the money. It's the things that the money can do. Yesterday afternoon at 1 p.m., I took my son to his first ever baseball game. 1 p.m. in the afternoon. If I worked for somebody else, or I was still hourly or salary or whatever you want to call a W-2 employee, chances are I wouldn't have been able to do that, or I would have had to ask permission. Here you do still ask permission, but you ask it of yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, boss, can I take my son to a baseball game today? And the answer, if you pay the price once, is yes for the rest of your life on your own terms, whatever you want to be able to do. So figure out what it is and why you want to achieve this level and use that as the determining reason and factor to motivate you day in, day out. Keep it in front of you. Keep it on your car dashboard. Keep it on the bathroom mirror in your house. Keep it wherever it is. It's going to remind you of what ultimately you're chasing, and we'll see you at the RVP level very soon.